that way for the other parents, I will let them see
Email the
it,
link. Yeah.
email the link so they can watch it.
Mhm.
Um, so a couple things. Number one, I was hoping that Heather would be here. Heather is my only carryover from my last group. All my other parents, kids aged out or they quarantined out or COVIDed out because there were some of that were going to return, but they didn't come back because of the COVID concerns. Um, so I was hoping we'd have everybody here. There's actually a good seven other people who had reached out to me and expressed their interest in joining PAC. So I'm hoping that they're still interested. I'm hoping that they maybe find their way to the call. And we'll work from that. But as of is right now, everything will be virtual, which is kind of interesting
Mhm.
because last year we actually did a lot of conference calls with our pack because there's only five of us. Well, it's five members and myself, not my, and myself not being number six included, because I'm not really part of the pack. I'm just kind of here to facilitate. This is really your platform to do and create things for you guys. Um,
Yeah.
we're not going to. It's going to definitely be more than the three of you. And so, Michelle, I apologize. There's not more of us here that you can
That's
introduce
okay.
yourself. But Heather's my carryover, so I was hoping she'd be here to kind of help, kind of talk about what we did in the past. And she's wanted somebody to. At least I'm not sure if you know Heather. Heather's daughter's Aria. Um, she wouldn't be in any classes that Luca would be in, but
Also,
maybe
the
you've seen her at like
apples,
one of the
please,
events or
can you
something.
please wash them?
Um,
They were on the ground.
uh, but Heather's been in
Because
us
there were
in
not
our
a lot on
school
the
for
trees.
probably I want to say
There was a whole bin full of
5 years
apples.
now. She's going into her sixth year
So
because she's
wash
had
them.
three children now there, and they've all gone through our program.
Wow.
So she was the co-chair for the last couple of years, and so we're kind of trying to figure out how to hand it off. I guess we'll talk about that more hopefully the next time because again, there's only three of us right now out of the 12. Um, so basically, I was going to go something we haven't done. When the first year that we did this, our first year was probably say 5 years ago. We're going into our sixth year, so this is our sixth pack. The first pack we
So,
did,
Corey, I'll just have to tell you, I
yes,
was in PAC when Lucy was in the school 20 years ago. So,
yes, you were. I heard. So that being said, Pack had actually gone away for a year or two. Um, and then when I'm sorry, Carrie kind of recruited me to be the parent
Mhm,
coordinator because again, a lot of my story that my daughter was there. She
mhm,
said that we had a pack and it's kind of went away, so we need to reinvent it and reintroduce it. So that was my first year, and I had about 12 parents that my first year that time too that all came into the room, and we actually made our bylaws. That was something I had sent you guys in the original email. I don't know if any of you got the chance to look at it. Hey, Shyla's here. What's up, love? Um, but we spent the first 3 weeks doing the bylaws. So we had a template, and then we came in our next week, and then we kind of tweaked it to serve the school, and then we finalized it in the last meeting. And I realized reading through it for a second time that there was some typos. So I'm going to correct some of those typos and resend it. But I was going to read kind of like the introduction to it, um, as far as the pack, and this is the purpose of pack. So if you guys don't mind me doing that. So the purpose of PAC is to develop and promote a strong unity between students, school, and the community. It is also to improve communications and understanding between the day nursery and communities it serves, and to provide the staff and parents an avenue through which issues involving the total day nursery community can be discussed. To organize fundraising for special events or activities at the day nursery, and for programs and projects initiated by the Parent Advisory Council, and to encourage the parent and community participation in school-related activities. And that is part of that is, there's also members at large, and members at large are essentially people who will be there to help us at events, organizing things or being a part of it, but not being a regular at the meetings. So what I'm asking of anybody that's going to be a PAC member is that we make the best attempts that we can, and understandably there's going to be times where we can't be there, but to try to be at each and every meeting every month because it's once a month,
mhm.
second Wednesday of every month up until the until July, because August there's no pack meeting because we're closed part of that month, and it's pretty much the end of the summer, and it's also beginning the start of the new school year. So we take that month off before new families come in, and then that's when we make transitions and things like that. Um, this is about policies. So policies. Number one, the PAC shall not become a policy-making body or manage or direct the school administration. It is assumed, however, that through improved communication and understanding, the school administration will be in a position to reflect the demonstrated needs and desires of the PAC membership. Does everybody kind of get what I'm saying there? Again, we packed it. So basically, we're just saying that we're obviously the PACs. You're kind of representing parents as well, and being kind of not a governmental body, but kind of a something to be recognized within the community and to be a voice for parents. Yes. The PAC shall operate with the cooperation of the day nursery staff and within the policies and procedures of the day nursery and direction and approval of the board, which is what Michelle. I'm sorry, Michelle.
Yeah.
This is the time for you to introduce yourself because
Oh, okay.
about the board. I'm gonna let her talk real quick.
Okay. Well, welcome and thank you for doing this. I appreciate it very much. My name is Michelle Arnold, and I'm the current president of the board. I've been involved on and off since my daughter went to the day nursery in 2000 when she was 3. And I started as a PAC member, and then I worked on the fundraising committee, and then was invited to join the board. We also have bylaws, and one of our bylaws was that a current parent couldn't join the board, but recently, about 3 years ago, we opened that up. So there is opportunities for parents to join the board. We really, but it seems like more what we have are parents who, when they leave, we try to keep them involved by inviting them to consider being a board member. So I'm hopeful that there might be some time for us in your very busy schedules, because I really think the insight of parents is what helps the day nursery operate efficiently and effectively. And really, you as parents know what young children really need and what they're all about. And I've always seen it being as very supportive to the leadership team and the teachers and the assistant teachers. So I'm thrilled that you guys are meeting again. Corey's amazing. And what?
I paid you to say that. Don't tell him.
Oh, okay. No, he did not pay me. But all the staff are wonderful. So I'm sure you guys realize that by now. In this weird time of COVID, it's a little tough, I feel like, because, it's hard to get to know other people, other parents. And that was always something we were able to do, especially, if you were checking your kid, when the kids were leaving. So hopefully the PAC can provide that to all the parents and an opportunity to stay engaged and connected with each other, even if it's Zoom.
I know, right? It's just not the same.
Yeah. So, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm gonna stay, and I'm hopeful that somebody will be a board liaison. But if not, then I'll just come to the meetings. Or I'm really trying to find somebody else, though. Somebody who's more of a, I'm a parent of a 23-year-old. So.
Right. All right. Crazy.
Yeah. So thanks, Corey. Thank you all.
Welcome. Thank you, Michelle. So that being said, going on to number 3 of policies, matters for consideration by the PAC may be initiated by request of the school administration or members of the board itself. Michelle, the PAC shall not. The PAC shall be a non-sectarian, non-commercial, and politically non-partisan. Yes. The responsibilities of PAC to advise the school staff on matters related to educational needs and challenges and suggest priorities that involve the day nursery as a whole. Matters that involve the board shall be referred to the board or a member of the board. To advise the school administration regarding opinions, attitudes, or significant issues of the council, the parents, and other citizens in the community. To provide leadership, assistance, and support with the day nursery for fundraising, for community activities, and for day nursery events. To assist in establishing and strengthening communication with the day nursery community and providing a forum for discussion. And to consider requests presented by the day nursery for staff and special programs and projects. To review and amend as needed the bylaws and internal operating policies and procedures for the PAC. Cool. So I'm gonna leave it there. And then, like I said, I'm gonna send out the revised bylaws, and then again, I invite everybody to kind of skim through it and kind of read through it. And if you have any questions or you find that there's any thing that you think that should be changed, that's something that we could bring to the PAC meeting. We do everything. We have votes. We have to have a quorum. The quorum, of course, is 5 members, which we technically sort of kind of have today since Michelle's here. So I'll let that go. Oh, actually, Lisa's here too, so that makes 5 of us.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe she's not on my screen right now. They got pushed off. It's Shada's fault. She bumped you out. So what I want people to consider for the next meeting, and I'll do this when I reach out, obviously, to the other people who are interested, is that we're looking for leaders within the PAC. We decided when we first did this that we would have 2 co-chairs. The idea is that, well, we had starting with new parents, but we wanted to kind of offset the co-chairs. So Heather is currently a co-chair, and she can, have somebody carry over and take her spot at some point. But the idea is to have somebody that's going to be a co-chair for 2 years, and then they offset each other by every 2 years. One of the co-chairs will switch over. The idea of having 2 co-chairs is by not putting all the responsibility on one person. Again, because we have busy lives, we have other children, we have a lot of things going on, is to have 2 people working together to kind of have it be a go-to for whatever, is being as far as the co-chair's responsibilities. The other thing we're looking for is a secretary, just somebody who can keep notes. We may or may not have to do that if we do recording on Zoom, so that maybe we don't have to do that. But maybe just secretary in name, or just to kind of keep maybe things organized for us. The other person is a volunteers coordinator, who is essentially, if we had like a fundraiser or anything, event or thing coming up, and we needed some extra people or members at large were available to do that, that person would coordinate with them as to what we would need from them in any event or anything. And so that being said, and the treasurer, and the treasurer would be a collaboration between myself and whoever's in charge, and that's just to have 2 people that would be responsible for the money coming in from fundraisers or events and things like that, so that there's at least 2 people that know how much is supposed to be there and all that stuff, and keeps it better. It just transparency in the money coming in. Yes. So anybody have any questions or about anything I just talked about or that Michelle talked about while we're on?
Or that wants to volunteer, right,
Yeah.
Corey?
Or Leslie, did you have anything that you wanted to say?
No, I don't think so.
I saw your mic went on.
Oh, I just had turned it off, so my dog was making noises, so I turned it off for a second. Got a dog and a cat and a kid in front of the TV right now, so hopefully everyone's safe in their stations.
I got cats and chickens.
Mm.
And the chickens are way louder than the cats. Who knew? Yeah, especially when they're hungry. They let you know. They're very vocal about that.
Wow.
Yes, chickens are fun. They're a trip. It's a whole different kind of animal. And then essentially, if you think about it, they're prehistoric.
Yeah.
Right? They've
Yeah.
been around a long, long time.
Yeah.
So going forward, I was trying to think of what we're going to do moving forward. The challenge, of course, is just with everything going on, what do we plan? How do we plan it? How do we navigate the kind of the world we're in, trying to do things virtually? A lot of stuff that people are doing is virtual, but I'm trying to also look into possibilities of doing things where we do things in person, and how that would look, and then of course, how the landscape looks months from now, things that we can't foresee, things that we don't have any control over. There's a lot of uncertainty about a lot of things, not just the political landscape, but just the whole, going into winter and fall with the expectations that, there might be spikes. What our government in Illinois, what they do to kind of offset those things. When does a vaccine come out and then is available to people where we can start maybe finding some normalcy with that? So there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I just know that, whatever we're planning, things could change very drastically, very quickly, and just we got to be open to that possibility. So some of the events, just so you guys are aware that are coming up that are virtual. We also have a junior board that's made up of high school students out of Oak Park River Forest. It was started by one of our volunteers from the summer before. She was a junior at the time, and she started recruiting kids at the high school to be part of the junior board. And they wanted to do things for the school. They wanted to be a part of it, which is awesome, as far as community stuff. Funny story. This young lady, her name is Sophie. She was in class and she was talking to the young lady sitting next to her in class about what she was doing at the day nursery and that she was inviting people to be a part of it. And she's like, "The day nursery? You mean the one over on by Harlem?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, my dad works there." That was my daughter asking her to be a part of the junior board here. Right? How funny is that? So she texted
That's
me when I
great.
was at work. And so she's still a part of it. She's a senior
Good.
now, as most of the kids are seniors. Um, so they're doing some things where they're doing virtual field trips. They're looking to. We have a winter sing along that we do in winter in December. That would be done in usually a stadium, not a stadium, an auditorium. So we were using one of the middle school auditoriums because we get like 300 to 400 people at those things every single year, where the kids perform songs and dances and performances on stage at the school, which is really a lot of fun. We would have food sometimes. Sometimes they would give treats and treat bags at the end of the night to the kids. It's just a really good time, for just the hours event. So we're trying to figure out a way to do that virtually. So we're working on that with them. There's also a um, a tree trimming thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brookfield Zoo. Every year they hold something called a tree trim, which is basically uh, I don't want to say Christmas trees, but they're Christmas trees. They're pine trees, and they want people to come and decorate them. So, being that we're a diverse community and we're trying to and we want to be all inclusive, we don't say there's nothing about Christmas. When we would have an event in the evening time where families would come, we'd open up the rooms to have food and snacks, and then that they would make decorations for the tree. The decorations would usually involve some kind of a theme like world peace, togetherness, tolerance, just and joy, those kind of things. It was all outside any kind of religious component or anything like that. And then the following weekend, so we do that on a Wednesday, and on Saturday we would meet at the zoo. I would meet everybody up there with a table that have all the decorations by our tree, a designated tree that we would have on the mall. We'd have hot cocoa for the kids, coffee for the adults, and then of course the little donut holes for everybody. And then we would have the kids put the decorations on the tree. And they'd be running around playing and get to kind of have all the families there together. And then you'd be able to spend the rest of the day in the zoo. So we'd start at 10 o'clock in the morning and go to probably about 11:30 noon. When the tree's all done, everybody's gone, and like I said, you spend the rest of the day in the zoo. Hopefully this year the weather would be nicer. My first 4 years, it rained and sleeted and snowed all at the same time every time I went to the zoo. And I'd had to have some kind of a canopy from my neighbor or something. Last year was the first year that we didn't have snow or rain, but then it was just cold. So we're hoping for good weather this year. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out how to do that. The junior board is putting together decoration packets for the kids, and they'll be bringing those into the school to have the kids take home and make their decorations at home, and then bring them to school. The next day we'll pack them all up and we'd meet at the zoo, and we'd practice all the social distancing and mask wearing and stuff, but then having the kids at least be able to have some fun and be at the zoo, open space outside, and decorate the tree. Yeah.
Sorry,
um
Corey, when does that normally take place?
That's sometime in November. It's like the middle part of November, usually around the 13th between the 15th, something like this, before
Okay.
Thanksgiving. It's usually the first couple of weeks of November, so that's something that's coming up real soon. So that's why something we want to figure out how we could. That's the junior board's actually working on that. So what I'm looking for us as PAC is to maybe think of something within the next maybe one event or something to happen before the Christmas holiday, right? Um, and then look at primarily the next year for some things that we can put together. One of the ideas I had is in the springtime is to have like a hot dog sale, meaning that we've not done, that kind of, we used to last like 3 years in a row we did something where we had a pizza movie party, right? Where the kids, one of our parents, Heather and her husband, got the trays, they got the dough, they get the dough, the cheese, they get all the ingredients. We reimburse them. We have little mini pizzas where the kids can decorate their own pizzas. And we had the family size pizzas. We had a popcorn machine. We'd have popcorn and we'd have a movie. And if everybody would be there, it would be a big event. It had a lot of fun, but obviously can't do that because that's inside. So we're looking at doing something maybe outside. I was thinking in the springtime, so we can have people just kind of come. Is to have like open up the whole backyard because you know how big it is, yeah. Have people at tables or chairs or something. They can sit and eat their hot dogs and chips and have communication with other family and other people, or they can just come by and pick it up and take it. So we do like pre-orders, or they can order when they get there. We have like something where we cook hot dogs in, have them ready because we have the kitchen there. Have it with a hot dog, condiments, a bag of chips, and a soda or a juice or something healthy, iced tea or something like that. Yeah, and we
Yeah.
charge like maybe $5 or some a fee, where we can get like a price point where we can have money that we do as a fundraiser for the school. One of the other things I was thinking was like virtual bingo. One of the ideas I had, and again, this is just throwing these things out to you. You guys can run with it, maybe come up with some better plan or idea, or even something else entirely. But I would think that with the bingo, you would give everybody 10 cards, right? And the cards would be $2, maybe $3 each, and the person would, however many cards they took out of the pack, they would then pay for those cards maybe later or beforehand. And if they like during bingo they wanted to purchase more, they can just grab more out of their 10 pack. Does that make sense? Because we can't be in person where they can buy their cards, as we go. They can have a pack of 10. They can take however many they want, and then we give them like a stamp, like some way to stamp it. Do the bingo over the virtually. We'd have prizes and those kind of things. I'm not really sure, but it's just the idea I was kind of throwing out there that we can do virtually. Yeah, because we're looking. The junior pack's working on a virtual trivia for adults and for parents. Right now, I know that I've been working with them. We used to have trivia nights at the school. Because we have a liquor license at the school, we would provide beer and wine, sometimes from local distributors to try. They would donate it to the school as a kind of advertisement for them. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun because it's all us. We're all adults. We're all hanging out, having a good time doing trivia, sitting at tables with teams, and the team wins a big prize at the end. So it's a lot of fun. I think we've done that. We're not doing the pop up this year, unfortunately, with Melissa. Um, so that's that kind of stuff. Yeah. So for me,
Corey,
yes.
Corey, we might be able to do the pop-up in the spring during the week of the young child, if
Okay.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
depending on the virtual. That's where we set up beautiful dining rooms in the school, and Melissa's our chef, Melissa Elsmo, and she
Like
does.
internationally renowned. Like,
Yeah.
so if you guys don't know what a pop-up is, a pop-up dinner is essentially she does it for 3 nights, I believe, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Just
Uh,
Friday and Saturday, but two
Friday and Saturday.
weekends.
Okay,
Yeah,
just two.
but two
I'm sorry.
weekends. Mhm.
And she essentially makes like a multi-course, sometimes 10-course meal with little edibles that she puts together at
It's
just mad
crazy.
creation. It's beautiful. I mean,
Mhm.
everything tastes excellent, good. She did one for Michelle Obama when they were in the White House.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and the
Yeah.
thing. So she did. She has a lot of really heavy kind of clientele. She has a column that she does in the Wednesday Journal that's there every week, usually relating to food or something. So you can actually look her up in the Wednesday Journal and see her. Um, but pop up is awesome. She don't. Some people buy tickets and they donate to families. They donate to staff
Mhm.
members. But you go there. There's a book that they use as the theme. Last year,
Storybook.
yeah,
Children's storybooks.
yes, and last year it was either
It was
Winnie
the
the
snowy
Pooh.
day.
It was a snowy day, yeah. And Winnie the
Mhm.
Pooh was the one before that because we had the little umbrellas
Mhm.
hanging from there.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
completely transformed that hallway outside of Maple and the dining room. Did you guys got the chance to see that before we went into quarantine? I know Shyla, I think you did, right? You as you came into school, yeah. But yeah, it completely transformed it. You wouldn't know it was a school when they walked in because they got decorations, they got professional, like great decorations, and then the tables. And it's just a really great event. So yeah, hopefully we can do that in the springtime. That would be awesome.
Did Heather just join us?
I did, yes. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I can't see you because you're not on my screen.
Put your screen on gallery, Corey.
There you
That's
are.
right here.
Oh, well, my wife is, of course, is showing me now. Hello, everybody. Heather, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. So I'm Heather.
Uh-oh.
My youngest Aria is she's in the Rainbow Room right now. But yeah, 2 years ago, like the time is just kind of running in together now.
Yeah, it totally is.
But 2 years ago, I was the co-chair. And so I ended up having to step down. I had to take a class that came on like Wednesday nights. So that conflicted. But yeah, I was co-chair for 1 year, 2 years? I think 2 years.
It was 2 years. We kind of strung you along because you were there the whole time.
Yeah. For a while, I was the only one there that was like left of pack. So we just
Hey,
kind
Rob. Rob
then
is also.
and then this is my
that's our-
husband, Rob.
Who's eating pizza right now?
So he doesn't.
We were talking about pizza night.
So Rob is well known for throwing the pizza nights at the school. So he used to work pizzas back in college, and he knows how to throw the pizzas up in the air. So we make it a big deal with the kids. They make their own pan pizza.
I don't think we'll be doing that this year.
No.
We were talking about that too. It's too bad, I know, right?
Maybe a virtual demonstration.
Oh.
That's a nice.
Yeah, this pizza you don't get to eat. It's delicious.
Food wise, we were thinking about. I'm recording this, so I'll actually send you the link so you can see the recording of what we talked about.
Okay.
We were. I mean, there's us now that's on here now, but there's at least 12 of us this year. There's about another 5 parents that expressed interest in being a part of PAC. Unfortunately, didn't make it tonight. So I'm hoping to reach out to them and see if they're still interested, and then if they are, to give them the recording, because I think next meeting next month should be when we decide, anybody that wants to take on one of the roles we talked about as far as co-chair, treasurer, secretary, those things. I guess at that time you would, acknowledge or express your interest in doing that, and then we can actually do a vote. Or we don't usually do a vote. We kind of just say, yeah, you take it, or whatever, however that works and however that looks. And again, like I said, we try to have 2 co-chairs. It just makes more sense that way, especially if somebody's got to step down because they want to take classes or something for like the better their life or something like that. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe she'll be co-chair again. She's already served 2 years. She can serve 2 more after the fact, right? It's in our bylaws. It's not more than 2 consecutive years, so you skipped a year.
Oh.
Hi, Annika. So I don't know. It was like 6:33, and I don't think we're getting more anybody else on. I went through the bylaws with everybody. Huh?
Nothing.
Oh. I went through the bylaws with everybody, Heather. So kind of mapping out because you were there after we had done it that first year. With everybody that started, or were you there?
We helped make the bylaws.
You were there, so you have been there like the whole time.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy how long you've been at the school. So Heather knows the process. So yeah, we went through that. There was like 12 of us at that time too. So what I'm asking everybody moving forward is to take the time before our next meeting, or even if you want to reach out to me at this, by email. One of the things that we're losing out on is that, because you guys don't actually come into the school right now, is that I would be at the front desk every morning or evening talking to everybody coming in and out. And that was an opportunity for us to talk like every day, something come up. So we've kind of lost that a little bit. But I still meet you guys outside a lot sometimes now, but come wintertime, we're not going to want to stand outside and talk. She's like, yeah, Mr. Corey, yeah, sure, bye. Let's go. So we'll figure something out, but you can always reach out by email, or we could talk and we can make arrangements to talk or whatever. I'll give everybody my cell phone number if you don't have it already. You can call me anytime. But like I said, I just want to have open lines of communication at all times. So think about if you want to be part of like one of the, the governmental body of PAC. Is that the right word? Office of PAC. Thank you. And then also too, if you guys got any awesome ideas or anything that you find or you hear about people doing or come up with anything to share, send an idea my way and we can flesh those things out as a group and how we can get it done. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really good too if the board, if we could help in any way, be volunteers or whatever in your events and what you guys are doing to be very, to be supportive.
You know, that goes without saying. I'll hit you guys up for everything, and especially you guys getting more members, and I know some
We
people now that are
did.
starting to join, which I'm really
Yeah.
excited about, who are parents. In
Yeah.
our last school year, we had at least 3 of them that I know of.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yep.
Heather, I kind of talked
Sweet.
about food wise. I was thinking in the springtime next year that we did like a hot dog sale with like a bag of chips or something or some kind of healthy snack to go, and so people don't want chips and like a drink to go with it, and then do that in the backyard because we could open up the gate to the street. People
Mhm,
can pull up and pick up their stuff, and we just bring
mhm,
it to them. Or maybe because the backyard's so big, we can space people out,
mhm.
have this social distancing because it's outside, and have people sit, eat while they're there, and the kids can play on the playground while they're there. So I'm thinking there's a whole lot of things that we can do. And again, by next spring, we could be in a completely different world,
Yeah.
than we are right now. Hopefully, we can only hope, right? So that's one idea I'm thinking about food wise, or something where people can be present. The other one we talked about, of course, is the tree trim. Um, Really, with that, that's not so much more us doing that, but I would love to have maybe a pack member to meet me there and kind of help me with setup and do things, something like that. We can figure that out. But just really, really, really open to ideas of what we can do. Um, if you guys know somebody someplace else, a family member, a friend that's done something with their school remotely, or they're doing something with their job remotely, there's a lot of people trying to be real creative with things remote, doing things remotely.
Mhm.
Um, and so, or like I said, having some big event that's outside that we can do in person when the weather's nicer. So those are the kind of things I want to leave you with tonight to think about. I don't think there's any real reason to keep you any longer. You guys can go be with your families if you haven't eaten dinner already. I hope you're not eating too late. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to add before we sign off? Or
I have
anybody want to express about how awesome I am and how much you like me and appreciate me?
um we could, so during the holiday sing along, and I presume we're not going to do the holiday sing along anymore, but we sold apple cider packets with mugs, and we sold hot chocolate with mugs. Those were a really big hit, and I think that we could, not now, sweetie. Beautiful. We could probably do something like that again. And the money that we raised generally went towards Teacher Appreciation Month in May. So whatever money we came in, that went towards the gifts for the teachers. And we like to spoil our teachers. So I want to say, like last year, they at least got like $50 gift cards, right?
That was the year before, because I think last year we did it for the
We had
school,
COVID.
and right, and then COVID happened. Remember that
Yeah.
kind of happened, did everything in. Um, but yeah,
Do we
we
have
did
anything remaining from
before,
last
and
for
last year was just by something for the school, and then I don't even think they got to do anything with the teachers because we were out of school by that time. So
Yeah.
there was the carrier was
All
going to do
remote.
something, and there's no carryover. So that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Absolutely. We did talk. The winter sing along is kind of happening, but it's going to happen
Okay.
virtually. And it's actually you didn't weren't on, but we talked about our junior board. So we
Okay.
have a junior board made up of high school students from Oak Park River Forest, and a lot of them are seniors. So they're putting stuff together for us as well. They're
Okay.
doing reading storybooks for the kids to be played in the classrooms. They're doing field trips where the kids will actually go to like the zoo or go to the museum, and for like a half an hour or 40 minutes, they would take the kids on a tour through wherever they're at and do it virtually, and then cater to what they want to learn and what they want to do, and do it in a way where you're catering to the children, how you speak. I suggested holding up like flashcards, like when you talk, we're looking at a chicken and you write chicken, or you're looking at a zebra and you write zebra and show the zebra, and that kind of stuff. So it'd be like educational. So they're doing quite a bit, and then for the winter sing along, they're actually doing it virtually, where we're going to have the kids perform in the school, show that videos of that, and then in between the performances, the kids are going to be putting on their own performances, or they'd be doing some kind of continuing storyline or something that they'd be doing to entertain people between the kids' performances. Yeah, so that everybody can kind of be on there and then kind of just go through the whole thing together. So they're yeah, we'll see. I think they're gonna do an awesome job because they have mad energy. They're crazy energy what they're putting into, and
Good.
they're really excited. Yeah, if you've been to one of their meetings, these kids are like all in. So they meet every month or like twice a month now, isn't it? Something crazy.
I have no idea how often they meet, but we
Yeah,
need the energy. Yeah.
absolutely, man. So that being said, that's pretty much it. Unless, like I said, anybody else had anything else to add or ask.
I'm glad we're still doing the sing along. I think that's a great idea, is to is to video them, at the school and then have
Yeah, it's one
everybody
of the
there.
biggest events that we had every year. Right?
Yeah. And it's just fun. It's a very fun to hear them all singing and, just how
Right.
they are. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have any resources left from last year? Or does that get...
I have to ask Miss Carey because that there is money still in the PAC fund that's still there. We just haven't talked about that since this past March. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's money in there that's left over that can be added to anything that we need it for.
Okay.
So whatever that looks like.
And Rob and Heather, I'm representing the board of directors. And so anyway, we all need to talk about money. So that's okay. We got to do this. We got to make it work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And so we got I had 4. Today was a really busy day. I have 4 prospects. What? Prospects. I don't know why I was saying perspective, prospective, whatever. Anyway,
Late.
so I had 4 parents call today to fill 4 spots in the school. So we're having more and more parents who are feeling more and more comfortable with maybe sending their kids to school for the school. And it shows, like I said, I was telling people, man, like I was more impressed with how we do things because, like I said, we have teachers in the school. We are a school that had 100% retention of all our staff from before COVID. Not everybody can say that. And like I said, we got teachers that have been in there for 20 years. 2 of them now. Miss Tiffany's going into her 20th year. Miss Rochelle is in her 25th year. Marion's been there Miss Marion trying to been a team for going in their 11th year. Miss Kira and Miss Kristen have been there for over 8 years, going into their 9th years, 10th years. So yeah, it's a lot going on. And then so some of these people are high risk. They have like some conditions. Some people have some autoimmune stuff going on, and so they're at high risk of health. And for them to come to work every day and be comfortable and confident that we're doing everything that we can possibly to keep everybody safe speaks volumes to me about how if they're comfortable to risk literally their health to come to work every day, then I know that we're doing something right. And then I can express that to any parent that's looking to bring their kids somewhere that had fears that they can understandably still have those anxieties, but at the same time, if one parent who's coming to our school because they're leaving the school that they felt that wasn't doing what they needed to do. So that being said, like I said, I'm really proud of our staff and proud of everything that we're doing. And our ventilation system has been upgraded with filters, HEPA filters, and UV light, and it pulls in fresh air from the outside so that the air circulating through the school at all times will be clean air and that's been filtered and debugged or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, on top of everything that we already do. So awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank
You guys have a
you.
wonderful rest of the evening, and I will be.
Nice to meet y'all. Thank you so much.
You too.
Thank you, Michelle.
Monica wants to say bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Bye, Elise. Bye, Heather. Thank you. Thank you, Mandy. All right.